Well, greetings, entrepreneurs. My name is Michelle Riley, aka the Savvypreneur, and I'm here today to give you some tips on your content creation workflow. So, this way, when you're getting ready to create your content, you know all of the tasks that you need to be performing. So, this way, you are doing three things with your content. You are one, bringing awareness. Two, growing either your email list, and three, promoting your offers. So let's go ahead and get into the video presentation so you can get these tips and go ahead and get working. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to be going through creating your content creation workflow in today's presentation. So let's get started. So now the objectives that I want to focus on within this video is creating a workflow for your content. Next is creating a spreadsheet, which I'm going to show you how to do that. The third one is creating the guides or checklists or whatever that call to action is. It doesn't have to be a guide or checklist. It can actually be a video or tutorial, something that I'm doing right now. It could even be a podcast as your call to action that you just provide the link for. And with that call to action, you're going to have to create an email campaign. So there's steps that go into your content creation, whether more than you just putting out a video, a podcast, or a blog post. And then the last most important part of all of doing this is to track your data. You need to know how your content is performing. If you just create content on a regular basis, but you're not going back to see the engagement, you're not going back to see how many shares or likes or follows or questions that you have, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're probably leaving money on the table and going over what I would say, getting some real prospects and leads and prospects into your sales funnel. So I don't want you to do that. So let's dive in. So now the purpose of your content. Now, these are the three that I want to focus on. You may have a different purpose, but let's focus on this. To one, bring awareness, the content that you are creating, especially if you're just maybe starting out and you want to let people know what your business or your brand is about. So you're going to create content to bring them awareness to what it is that you do and also who you serve. The next piece of content, and you can do these interchangeably, meaning you can have all three of them within one sitting down of creating content. And I'll kind of show you as I'm going through this, even as I created this content right here. So to grow your email list. So in order to grow your email list, you're going to need some type of what I would say call to action. A call to action can be in the form of a PDF, a checklist, an ebook. It can even be a video that you're creating just to solve a problem or give them one step towards solving that problem. And you can create that as a call to action. It could even be a podcast, or maybe it's something that you sit down maybe some time ago and you did some podcast with someone who was an authority in a space that you know that information would be great for your followers. So you can use that as a call to action, something that maybe at one point in time was a paid for resource, but you're just taking a snippet of that and you're providing that to give them some type of context or solution around that situation, problem, or whatever it is. Then the third thing is you want to create content to also promote a product or service. So let's get into the breakdown of this and how this would look. So now when you're creating your content creation workflow, the first thing you want to determine, like we said over here in the left-hand side of the corner, okay, you want to bring awareness. So we have to think, what is the headline you're going to use? What is the thing that you're going to use to draw people in? Because whether you're on social media, whether you are creating an email campaign, the first thing that people look at is the headline. Does the headline grab them? Does it basically pull them in? Is within that headline, is it something that they are struggling with that's going to make them read further into the content or view the video or listen to the podcast? So you want to make sure that when you are thinking about creating content, your headline or your topic is going to be key, because that's the first thing that people are going to look at before they decide whether they're going to consume it, right? So the next thing is your keywords. So does your keywords, are those keywords that your audience is looking for, are they in that headline? Because that is something that you need to be doing your due diligence in researching, making sure that when you go in, maybe if you're doing a Google search, you're looking for those keywords that your audience is looking for. And when you put keywords in that headline, it's going to show you what they're looking for. So this way you can put them, so this way you can put those keywords in your headline. Now, images is great because we are visual people. We see with our eyes. A lot of times we may not even read the headline, but if you have a nice visual, maybe an image or a video or a GIF that stands out, people will stop. They'll stop scrolling. They'll say, oh, let me see what this is about. That really stopped me in my tracks. I'm sure we're all familiar with TikTok. And I mean, it's so many videos or different TikToks have gone viral because before even people will stop to read the words, they're looking to see what's being done on the screen. So you want to make sure that you have high quality images, even if you're taking images with your phone. Make sure that the lighting is good. Make sure that you have enough space, that there's not too much busyness going on within that photo that's taking the attention away from what you want your audience to get out of that. And then the next thing is a call to action. So when you're doing a call to action, whether it is in the form of a guide, a checklist, a video, a podcast, or a blog post, you want to make sure that for those call to actions, you have to create an email campaign. For instance, if you say have, I don't know, a call to action on, I'm just throwing it out here, this diet to help you lose weight and to help you not have hunger cravings during that process of you exercising and dieting, right? So if you put that out on your social media for someone to just download that, and now you've gotten subscribers on your email list, so do you just leave them there? Do you say, oh, wow, 50 people signed up for this. Wow, that's great. So what do you do after that point? Because you have to think really with the end in mind, meaning what is it that you want them to do? Because actually what you're doing through your email campaigns is you're guiding them either to a sale, that's something that you have on the back end that is related. Let me say this, that is related to what it is that they signed up for. Because the clue is, if they signed up for something like a how-to or checklist or how to do this and how to do that, so that means maybe they're struggling around maybe automation, they're struggling with creating content, different ideas, how to repurpose, how to schedule. So you can kind of get the gist of what they are struggling with when they download a certain resource. So you want to create an email campaign that will follow up to basically see what it is that they are, have they consumed the resource? Do they have any questions? And I would even insert a poll in there. I would basically, ask them, how can I be of service? How can I help you? Then if you have any affiliates, then this is a good way you can put those affiliate links within your call to actions. So this way you can also get a kickback if your subscriber basically clicks that link and opts into that affiliate link, so you'll get a kickback. But one thing I want to say, make sure that the affiliates that you're using is not just something you're just throwing in there to throw in there. Make sure they're reputable people. Make sure that it is something that you basically maybe use it within your own business, so this way people will understand that it's not just something you're trying to throw out and sell to them, but it's actually something that you utilize within your own business. So there's many steps in creating content based on the type of content you need or you are trying to create. But make sure that when you sit down, you want to know, okay, is this first piece of content that I'm creating, what is it going to do? Am I going to bring awareness? Is this content just to grow my email list? So I know within that content, I have to create a call to action. Even if you have one already done, then that's even better, because all you have to do is go into your email autoresponder, grab that link and post that based on where you're posting it, whether on your website, YouTube, or whatever. But I'm going to take you through a little bit of my process to show you how I do it. So now let's go to the next one. So now let's say you have a website. Now, website is a little bit more in depth because a lot of people want to do a website, but let me tell you, a lot of time and effort goes into a website, because with the website, you have to be concerned with your images, making sure they're high quality. Again, keywords. How do people find you once you have your website? Are you drawing traffic back to your website from your social media content? If you have a YouTube channel, you should have in that description box your links to your website. Uh, it should even have links to certain call to actions that is within alignment with that video content that you're giving them. Then with having a website, you also need to optimize that website for SEO, meaning search engine optimization, meaning you want to organically for people to come to your website without you having to pay for ads. I know ads can get very expensive, especially when you don't know what you're doing or what to look for. You don't want to throw money out there until you kind of understand how you are going to create a campaign and a strategy around bringing traffic to your website when you start doing paid ads. So with SEO, you have to think about inbound links. Do you have content within your website? For instance, I'll give you an example. Like if I'm talking about creating a website, so my whole blog post is about creating a website, right? How to go about doing it. So now the inbound link, I should have another article in there that maybe would be in alignment with that blog post that's talking about creating a website. So that link would have me having another blog post that talks about hosting, talking about different hosting companies and how they benefit you, what are the best, what are the worst. So it's all in alignment. So this way it is linking one page to another page that is keeping people on my website, right? Now, outbound links are links that you can put within your blog post or whatever it is that you have put on your website. So this way you're going and you're linking to another website who may have similar information based on what you're writing about. And this way you can just reach out to them and say, listen, I love this article that you've done based on this topic. I write about this on my blog as well. Do you mind us linking, one to each other? So this way your audience can gain the tips that I put in my blog post. And this way, you getting an outbound link. So this way, when traffic visits that person's blog post or podcast or whatever that may be, there's going to be a link that links back to your website, thus giving you traffic to your website. So you have to ask, people for that. I've had people come to me and basically ask, can they link to my website? And I've done the same. So it helps you with organic traffic. So this way you have good quality links from reputable companies. Now, you don't want to just link your stuff to anybody just because they're out there. You want to make sure that those links are in alignment with what you do, because you don't want to send a link and have your content linked to someone that may be offensive to your audience, or maybe something that your audience will feel like, why would they link to this? I didn't think they would do something like that. So be very careful of what type of content you want to link to. Make sure it is of a reputable company. Now, the meta description is so important because when people are looking for your site, especially if they're on Google, your meta description is basically telling them, if they click on that link, what that link is going to be about. So this way, if they go ahead and they click through, then now you gain organic, follow organic traffic. But if that meta description is not filled out, then they're not going to know anything about what you're talking about. So they'll just go and they'll scroll down to the next person who has that meta description filled out. So make sure that you have all of that filled out. So this way you don't have to worry about when someone does land on Google and maybe sees your link that's linking to your website, they know exactly what they're getting ready to consume within your content. So now the email. Now the email campaign comes in when you're getting ready to create a call to action. So when you're getting ready to create a call to action, your campaign should go this way. First, you want to create a welcome email. That means that you're welcoming them into your subscriber list. You're letting them know about what it is that you do. You let them know how many times a week, a month you're going to email them. Maybe you will even go in depth to maybe the certain days that you do send out emails. So this way they can look out for them. So you want to create maybe between 4 to 6 emails in alignment with what it is that they're looking for. Maybe let them know about certain things that is going on within your company, how you try to help them, and maybe different blog posts that you can share with them based on something that they may be interested in. Then you want to go ahead and surprise them with a bonus gift. I don't know what that may be. You can maybe send them a free ebook, or maybe a podcast that was something that was really good information, or maybe a video or something that you had around a sale or something, and you just want to send it to them as a free gift because you appreciate them being on your list. So this way it helps them say, wow, I wasn't even expecting this. Again, you want to send promotional emails in alignment with what they opted for. The way to kill your subscribers list and get people to opt out, as soon as they receive something from you, the next email you get, oh, we're having this sale and it's on this, and it is not even related to what it is that they opted in for. And you don't want to just sell to them as soon as they get on your list, because they don't know you yet. They just opted in. Maybe they've been searching around, on the internet, maybe, spying you out, but you don't want to do that. You want to give them a chance to really understand how you do business, and that you really want to build a relationship with them before you put them out there and just say, listen, I just want your money. So again, when you're creating the call to actions, whether it's a guide, a challenge, a checklist, a podcast, a video, you want to make sure that you have that campaign set for that, because you want to make sure that you can track how many people opted in for this guide, how many people opted in for this challenge, how many people opted in for this checklist. And I've seen even some entrepreneurs, and I've done it myself, that you may have a certain challenge. So you would basically send them to your Facebook group to grow your Facebook group, because that challenge is going to be held within that Facebook group. So that's a great way to grow your Facebook group if that's what you're trying to do. Create a challenge and have it done where each day you come on and you offer some type of content that's going to help them in whatever area of expertise that you do. So the next thing is tracking your data. Now you want to make sure that, especially if you have a website, you want to go ahead and put that Facebook pixel on your website. It's free. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to YouTube and you can basically put it in there, how to install the Facebook pixel. It's very easy to do so. Then you can also do Google Analytics. There are steps there. You can YouTube that as well, because what is going to happen is it's going to show you how much traffic is coming to your website. It's going to show you how long they stay on the page, what page, do they bounce quickly? And there's also tracking apps. You can get different apps that you can place on your website to track, how long they stay on the home page. Where did they click at? I have a tracking app that is very good. I got it through AppSumo, and it basically records when people come into my website to let me know what they scrolled, what they looked at, what page they went to, how long they stayed on it, and what content they consumed. So this way it's giving me insight to say, okay, what content do I need to continue to create? What are the struggles that my audience is having? So this way I can go ahead and create that. When it comes to your social media posts, especially if you are on Instagram, you want to look and see, your reels. Are your reels gaining traction? Are your stories gaining traction? What is your memes doing? They have where you can go in. I believe it's with Instagram business account that you can go in and you can actually see the breakdown from men to women. You can see the peak times that they come on and they view your content. So this way you can put content out around those specific times. And also it shows you, the different cities that are looking at your content. So this is a great way for you to even get more strategic, because if you want to just focus on a city, you can just say, hey, New York, or hey, Cleveland, or whoever that is. So that way they're going to even like stop in their tracks because you're repping their city. You're basically saying, hey, I got this tip for you, New York. I got this tip for you, Cleveland. So that's another strategy, because people love to rep their cities, or they love when their city is being repped. So you can basically do that to stand out. Now, for this specific video training, teaching, whatever you want to call it, I have a lead magnet workbook. So if you're kind of on the fence saying, well, I don't really know how that goes, or what should I put in it? So this workbook will help you with kind of getting clear on what type of content you should be creating, and knowing your audience. So I have the link in the description of this video. So this way you can go ahead and click that link, and you can basically go ahead and download that. So I just want to kind of show you like my process of what I do when I'm getting ready to create this. With me creating this presentation right here, what did I have to do first? I had to create the slides. The workbook I already had, because it's something that I'd done a while ago, but the information is still relevant. Then I had to create an email campaign around that workbook. So this way I can basically nurture those who opt in for this specific resource. So there's different key steps that go into creating this. So now I'm going to take you online, and I'm going to show you this Google Docs that is going to be free. If you want a copy of it, it will be down in the description below. So you can go ahead and download that copy, and I'll just go and show you how to go ahead and create those changes for your business. So this way you can have that data already for yourself. So let's go. Okay, now this is a Google Doc that I created, and I called it the content workflow. You can go ahead and rename it and call it whatever that you want to call it. But I'm going to show you how you can basically go ahead and start tracking your information. So this way you'll know what content is performing and how to basically, keep track of it. So what I did is, now this will be the date. Now, if I was using this and I was basically tracking this content that I am recording right now for you guys, I would go in here and I would double click. Let me see. And I would put the date. Now, how you see how that brought up the date? So how that happened is, let me just show you. I would go in here and I would select all of that, the cells down to, and I think I did to 51. And then I would go into here, data, and then I would go into data validation. And I would just click, as you see right here, date is valid. So that means that whenever I click in any of those cells from 2 to 51, it would basically bring me up a date grid. So that way I could basically populate that within that box. So now the next thing is the topic. So what topic am I talking about? So based on my industry, I'm talking about content marketing. But if I wanted to say basically content workflow, what I would do is I would go in. Now, as you see those different selections of different categories. So how you would do that to get that drop down, again, you would go in, you would select how many cells that you want to select. And then you would go to data, and you would go to data validation, and then you would just go ahead and you would click. As you see the different selections, you would just say list of items. So now I would put in here, and each one has to have a comma behind it. So the next one I would put in is content workflow. Okay, and then I would just save it. So now when I come back up to this specific box, it would be right there. So that's the topic that I'm working with. Now in Google Docs, when you can't see everything, you just take your cursor, when you see it turn into an arrow, and you just slide it to basically make sure that you can see everything that is in that workflow. So then I can say, okay, well, what platform am I going to put this on? So I'm going to put this right now on YouTube, right? Now, if I wanted to put it on my website, which I am going to do, I would just drop down to the next box. I would use that same date. I would use that same topic, but this time I would say I'm going to put it on my website. So now if I'm going to do social media posts around this, am I going to do like a meme? Am I going to do a reel? Am I going to do a story? Now I didn't put stories here, but let's go here and do that. So again, we put the cursor in the box and we just scroll all the way down. 51, we go to data, go to data validation, put that comma behind there and just put stories. This story. I mean, you can do it with which any way that you want to work it. It's just basically you're getting a system, a process in place that's going to keep you on target, right? So now any links. So are there any links that I need to put in here? So I would basically put, once I place this and upload this to YouTube, I'm going to get a link. So I'm going to basically capture that link and put it here. With my website, I'm going to have a link. I'm going to capture that and put it here. Now with my website, if there are going to be any social media posts, I will put a blog post to put on, you know, my social media. So this way I will know what type of post that I'm posting based on this topic right here. So then again, I will put the links for my YouTube, my links for my blog post that's to my website. So whenever I need to grab those links, I just need to come to here and grab that, right? So do I have any call to actions within this specific you know, with this specific topic, which I do? So then I'll say, oh yeah, I have a, let's see. So what do I have here? I have a lead magnet worksheet. So let's go down. Let's grab all that to 51. You can go down as far as you want. I just put to 51. Let's go back to data. Let's go back to data validation. Now, these are basically what I would say call to actions based within my Mailer Alite account. So I have a lead magnet guide, right? So I would save that. And then I would just go here and I would say, okay, my email campaign is a lead magnet guide. Or I could even go up here and say email campaigns / CTA, which stands for call to action. So this way I know this is what I have in place as my guide. Now the analytics is basically going to come based on how that content is performing. And then I'll go in here and I'll just, you know, put it in here based on, you know, whatever notes or whatever. And then if I want to repost it, then I'll check here and just say I want to repost it. If there's someone who I want to tag within that content, maybe if I'm on social media and I want to tag a certain person, then I can basically go ahead and tag them and just put who I want to tag and put at whatever their handle is. So this way, when I'm ready to post that content on my social media, then I know who I'm tagging within that, right? So you can basically create this to any way that you need to. Again, if you want to put the platform, you put the platforms that you're on. Again, I said YouTube, my website, and basically that is the gist of it. You can go in if you want to color code the top of your sheet. You just go here, drag that across, and you just go to that little bucket and you just, you know, fill the color with whatever color that you want. When it comes to this checkbox, I probably didn't show you this, but it's the same thing. You just go and basically drag it all the way down to where you want it. Go to data, go to data validation, and basically there's the selection checkbox. So this way, you know that it's going to have a checkbox, and then you can color it. You would again just go and, you know, put whatever color you want it to be, like that. So this way it's it's something that you have in mind. So whenever you need to go back over your content, you have a worksheet. You can even name the worksheet. You can name it like, what is this? August 2021. So you want to go by different months that you want to, you're creating content in. So the next one, you can go here and create another sheet, and that would be September 2021. And then this way, now you can go, and if you don't want to have it looking so jumbled up, you can break it up into different months. So this way you can go back and you can say, okay, well, in August, this is what happened. Then in September, this is what happened. So this way you have in front of you a process or a system that you can utilize to help you in your content creation effort. So now I want to take you to where now, if you're creating your guides or your e-guides, I use Canva. I'm on the pro account, but you can basically go in Canva. You can type in guides or templates, and this is basically like the workbooks they have. But I believe this is just like the workbook cover. But this right here, let me just click on this right here, because this is like 6 pages. So you can customize this workbook. It's a course workbook. You can change the background of that picture. You can change all of that. The next part of that, you can put in your title, what it is that you want to talk about. You can have, whatever that page would be for you in your business. If you have certain steps, you can put that there. Again, all of this you can change. And this is in Canva, and I love Canva. So you can basically utilize their templates that they have there to make sure that you can create your call to actions, make them look the way that you want them to look. So this way you can just get it done. But it takes time for you to get that process in place, because you're working with the end in mind. And your last piece is basically putting it out there. So you're going to start with your call to actions. You're going to start with, even if you have an offer in place, that's not the first thing that you're going to jump out with your audience with, especially those who are new signing up on your list. You're going to nurture them before you just say, here, this is something that I have, for you to purchase. Now, if you don't want to go in Canva, which they do have that, you can go on Etsy. I went on Etsy, but it's the same concept. They have workbook templates that you can basically go in Canva, and you can put it towards how your brand is, your brand font, your brand colors, all of that. So if you want to go in Canva, not Canva, if you want to go to Etsy and you want to download their different type of workbooks, or based on your industry, they have so many in there. They're beautiful. I can just be on this page all day and be downloading all this stuff, but I don't do that. I just go in Canva. I have used Etsy a couple of times because they really had certain layouts that I really liked. So I really like that. So again, now let me just go and show you the method to my madness. Now, when I'm going on YouTube, I go in my Google Docs and I basically make a YouTube description links, because my description links is going to change every time I do a new video, because it's going to be a different video, right? But one thing that I do is when I'm embedding my video, because I don't want to have to compete with other people at the end of that video, how they show you different other videos to watch. So I don't want that, because I basically want to keep people in the top of mind of what I'm doing. So I'll go in, I'll copy this code, and I'll put it at the end of the code in my video. So this way there is no suggestion of other videos but mine. So that's a little key tip if you want to go on YouTube, and you can basically go and find that out, right? So then I will put in the description of what my last video was. And then if I had any, like my website, this is my website, this is my t-shirt shop, digital products. So all of that is there if anyone wants to know more about what I do on my website. Now, these are my resources. As you see, this is going to be part of the description box, the copy, content workflow, and the lead magnet PDF. So those are the two right here that I'm going to include in this video. So this way it goes in alignment with what I am showing you now. So I hope this helps you if you have Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But let me also show you something before I close out this video. So now once I have done all of that, I have to take that lead magnet that I created on my, that's in my Canva, download it to my desktop. Now I have to go to my media library within my, on the back end of my website. Now you see all of these files. It's because these are call to actions. These are just different things that I have done. So this way I'll know to go in, I'll get that lead magnet, upload it within my website, copy that URL so that I can come back over here and put it in my description. So this way, when you click on it, you'll receive it. So I hope that this helps. It's a process to everything, but you have to create the process that's going to help you get to where you want to be within your business, so you're not overwhelmed every time you're creating content. You're not going all over the place, don't have a system in place. You need to have a system in place, and you need to basically make sure that you are tracking the work that you do online, so you can see your efforts actualized through you converting your prospects into customers. So have a great day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you have any questions or comments based on this video, please leave them in the comments below and I will come in and answer them or do a follow-up video. So see you in the next video.